Well, a very good afternoon from Phuket, and today I've come over to Karon and we're going to be taking a look at an area that I haven't really covered much. We're right by the beach at Karon, of course. We're not here looking at the beach. This is the northern part of Karon. There, the beach. We're going to take a quick look at it just to show you. The weather not been fantastic today. It was raining this morning, quite heavy as well, for about 2 or 3 hours. It's now 2:30 in the afternoon. It's starting to clear up, as you can see. It's a little bit better than what it was, so I've decided to come over and cover this area. I'm going to take a walk past the Best Western Hotel and this sort of area that we're in now. Come on, Ploy's with me. She of course is off school, so I want to take a closer look at this area. As I say, I've not really covered it that much. In front we have a few small restaurants, so if you're looking for some food, then there's plenty of restaurants. Lady there waving and signalling in. Swaddy cab. Not going to eat. Filming at the moment and I won't eat. But this area here, I guess you'd call it a park area. They have one or two Cobb and Cab. They have one or two pop-up markets that take place. I wasn't sure whether there was going to be one on today, but as it stands, there isn't one actually taking place today. There was one last Friday when I was over here. Of course, I've been covering this area both daytime and nighttime, as you've seen with recent videos, and I really want to cover all the island now in a lot more detail, so that's what I'm doing. Now, a few of you will know I've been doing a little bit of live streaming, but unfortunately I'm still getting a few problems with the live streaming, so for the time being I've put the live streaming on hold because I just can't get the quality that I would like from the live streaming. But I'm going to do so many videos as if I was live streaming, so this is one of them. So the format's going to be slightly different. You'll notice the camera angle's a little bit different because I'm using a different camera to film this with, and I'm going to do it very much with the live streaming theme in mind. So unedited, I'm not going to be cutting anything out. If I make a mistake, it's going to stay. So this is very much Phuket raw, Phuket not live but pre-recorded, but very much raw. I shan't be editing the footage. As I said, we're right by the beach. Now, just to give you a reference where we are, if you're not quite sure, behind me is the Karon roundabout, the small island here in Karon, which is very well known. Just let that motorbike go because I'm fighting with the sound all the time with noises in the background. As I said, the island there in the background, the roundabout. So that'll give you an idea, and we're to the, well, it depends on which way you're heading. We're to the one side of that by the beach area. And if you was heading from Karon to Patong, then you would be passing this area. And as you can see, just over there, there are some reminders or leftovers from the market, these sort of pop-up stalls. They do have pop-up markets here quite regular in this area, and that's why I want to cover this area. And there's a few shops around here, a few restaurants that I want to show you. The park area is very nice. If you're staying in Karon, you want to do a bit of exercise, then maybe you're going to come to this area in the morning time, maybe afternoon like we are now, have a wander around. Great for exercising. A little bit quieter, just slightly to the one side out of the main town area. Coming through Karon today, things are getting better. Every time I come here, things are definitely picking up. Let me just show you this. Okay, so we've got some small vendors here. So if you come into this area, you're going to be able to get some food, some drinks. Let's see what they're selling. Just have a nose around generally. So we've got a drink stall, coconut shakes I'm guessing, and fruit shakes, tea, coffee, green tea there, iced tea, hot chocolate and coffee, and then some steaks, chicken I'm guessing, some kebabs, not kebabs, what am I saying now, what are these now, can't think of the name, what they're called, skewers, some meat on skewers, that's the word I'm looking for. So some grilled chicken, barbecue chicken there, and then next to that we've got some more Thai food, different dishes, all different amounts. You can see the prices there, starting from 80 baht, working all the way up to 150, depending on what you have, of course. Obviously the seafood a little bit more pricier, more chicken, more skewers. Ooh, they look nice. Not quite sure how much they are. Chloe, how much are those? How much are they? Can you ask the lady, please? the skewer? 20 baht a skewer. Okay, Copen Cap. Okay, so there you go, 20 baht for a skewer, chicken. And then we've got some sweet corn as well, one of my favourites. And then we're going to work our way down this road here in front of me, and we're going to walk around in a circle basically, going past the Best Western Hotel, also the Novotel, which has recently reopened here. I just want to mention quickly, the Club Med in Qatar has now reopened officially. As of yesterday, it's been announced they've reopened, so that's a good sign for Qatar, and we need some of the bigger hotels to be really reopening now. Of course, we're still waiting for the Centara in Karon to reopen, which is just over the back there. Might be able to see it as we walk down here. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's just behind these buildings here, but that's not reopened as yet. But the Club Med in Qatar has now reopened. I want to try and get in there and do some filming there, because I know one of the managers there, so I'm going to have a word with the lady, the manager that I know, and see whether I can get in there to do some filming, because they have refurbished a big part of Club Med during the last 2 years. I've seen it being refurbished. So if I can, but for now we're in Karon, of course. I want to be talking about Karon and not Qatar. I will be doing Qatar a lot more in the coming weeks, so look out for that. Now we've got a large massage shop here. Quite a large one, this one is. Prices there on the window, as you can see. Let's have a little bit of closer look so you can get an idea of what they're charging. Thai massage, 300 baht. And then we're going all the way down to, oh, they do tattooing as well. Acrylic nails, hair plaiting and weaving. So prices starting 800 to 2,000, I guess, depending on what you have. You've got all the different Thai massages. My personal favourite is the oil massage, because I find that more relaxing, but each to their own, of course. Some people like the Thai massage. I just find it a little bit strong for my personal taste. Now I'm gonna, apologies if the camera's not 100% stable, because as I say, I'm using a different camera when I'm going to be doing the raw. It's just easier for me to do than my normal one that I do for the No Nonsense Guide. I want something quick and easy that I can grab hold of and just go and film, because I'm doing a lot more content. As you will have noticed, I'm putting a lot more videos out. So we've got a pharmacy. 7-Eleven unfortunately is closed here, but there are plenty of 7-Elevens, Family Marts in Karon that are now open. And we've got the Karon Avenue, so a sushi place. Yeah, I think this is open in the evening. A few of these are not open now because of course we're sort of afternoon, but they do open up in the evening. We've got an exchange. Of course people are always interested in exchanges, so I'm gonna, it's not open. Okay, that one caught me out. I thought it was open. No, there are some open here, and then we've got a few smaller stalls, ice creams, drinks, that sort of thing. This restaurant here is now open in the evening time. I'm guessing it's not busy enough in the daytime to be open, but I've come past a few times and seen in the evening it's open. I shall of course be back over this area in the evening time to show it, because I want to show as much as I can, both daytime and evening time, give you a full picture so you can really see what's going on. Actually, this one may actually be open because I can see somebody inside, so it might be actually open now, but of night, it's in the night time, it's all lit up, of course. The Rimlay seafood restaurant. Now there's quite a few Rimlay restaurants around the island. I don't know whether they're owned by all the same people or whether they're all independent, I don't know, but I'm going to be cheeky and have a look at the menu, give you an idea of the prices, because one thing I try to do on my channel is make sure there's prices in there so people can see what they're going to be paying. Nothing worse than people advertising stuff and not showing the prices. You're not going to be really travelling miles when you don't know the prices. So we've got garlic bread, 90 baht starters, all the way up to 150. Quite a good choice. Fish and chips. I wouldn't have thought that was an appetizer, but there you go. That's on the appetizers. Fish and chips, 200 baht. And then we've got some salads and Thai soups. I'm not going to stand here for 10 minutes going through the whole menu. I'm just going to quickly flick through it. Spaghetti and pizzas, burgers and sandwiches. So a good choice of Western food, special dishes, noodles. You've got a bit of everything on here. They do vegetarian as well. 80 baht up to 140 baht. So a good choice there. Pork, chicken and beef dishes. So yeah, plenty on the menu. Duck, prawn, fish, squid, wow. New Zealand mussels, shark, no, I haven't seen that before on a menu, shark. $2.50 the sharkies. There you go. Gives you an idea. Crab, massive choice. Lobsters, wow. Seafood sets, steaks, and then dessert. Sorry, Cap. Okay, so there you go. If you want to check this one out, I haven't tried it myself. I might have to come and take a look at that. So we're just now going to follow the road round and we come to the Best Western. We'll have a quick look at the outside of that. As I say, I just want to cover all the areas in Karon. So if you come in here, if you haven't been here before, you can watch my videos and get a real feel for the place before you even get here and know which areas you're going to prefer or which areas you want to explore a little bit more. Of course, I'm not going to be able to show you every single site, but I will do my best to show you as much as you can. The park area there. Now there is a lake there as well, and of course at certain times of the year, October/November, they have the Loy Katong festival over here. But the only thing with the Loy Katong festival, I find it's better in areas that have got a moving body of water rather than a static body. Lakes is very static unless there's a little bit of wind, because the katongs themselves do not move. So when they put them in the water, they just stay static. And if there's a bit of wind, it blows the candle out. It does move the katong a little bit, but of course the candle gets blown out, so you lose the effect. Whereas I prefer like where there's a river or a sea inlet, such as Bore, the place that I've covered, there's a sea inlet there, and as long as there's not too much wind, it's just great because you get all these katongs floating off in the distance. But they do have it here, like Katong, and I have covered it on a previous video some time ago. So if you want to check that out, I will link it up here somewhere. But it's quite a nice area to come, maybe in the morning or late afternoon, of course, and just have a walk around, a bit of exercise. So now we're right outside, of course, the Best Western. This was closed for quite a while, but it is now fully open, as far as I know. A few bikes outside, a few cars. There's plenty of taxis around this area as well, I've noticed. So if you're looking for a taxi, you're going to be able to find one, no problem at all. Of course, not everybody wants to hire a vehicle. Maybe they're a little bit reluctant to drive on the roads over here. And I can't say I'll blame them, to be honest. That you do need to have good nerves. If you've not driven in Thailand before, you do need some good nerves to drive over here, because the driving is very different to other parts of the world. People don't have a lot of patience on the road, whether it's Thai drivers or foreign drivers, believe it or not. I see people all the time, they don't seem to want to wait for 5 seconds. If they can get in front of you, even if it means risking their lives, they will, just to get in front of you, or they'll run red lights. And the driving generally is not fantastic over here, and that's why the roads have got a very bad reputation, unfortunately. So if you haven't got nerves of steel, or you are a very confident rider, then maybe hiring a vehicle may not be good for you. So there's plenty of taxis. I know there's discussions about taxis and tuk-tuks. Don't want to get into that. As I've mentioned before, it's not a difficult area. You ask the driver how much before you get into the taxi. If you're not happy with the price, then don't take the taxi. It's that simple. People say, oh, it's rip-offs and that. I don't want to get into that argument, because as I've said, I've been coming to Thailand a very long time, and it's really about a bit of common sense. So we've got a couple of areas in front of us now with restaurants. So I can see that one, the 1D seafood restaurant there. Don't know what it's like because I've not eaten in it before, but it's only just down from the Best Western. Literally, there's the Best Western and there's the restaurant. So a stone's throw really. And then next to that we have another small restaurant. I'm going to walk across. I'm just waiting for the traffic to clear so we can get across this road, because it is quite a busy road. Crossing roads, you do have to be careful. So we've got another small restaurant. There's a mini mart apparently down here somewhere. I'm not going to walk all the way down this side. I don't know what's down there. I'm going to walk a little way so we can have a look, but I'm just going to show you the menu quickly. I don't want to go through it all because there's people eating in there. So what have we got? We've got soups, is that fried chicken or fish? Okay, they do pizzas and salads, spaghetti, hamburgers, So a little bit of Western food in here as well as Thai food, I would imagine, and I can see some seafood. So there you can go. You can see the restaurant inside. I know there's people dining, and I don't want to stick a camera in there because it's not very nice. Some people are a little bit funny when they're confronted with a camera. Don't want to walk too far down here because, as you can hear, there's some building noise going on, and it's not going to be that great on the video. But you can see there's a cafe there, and then a mini mart, and I'm guessing there's a hotel accommodation further down there. Maybe I will come back and explore this side at a later date. Right on the corner here we have a tour shop, so of course if you're staying in a hotels around here, you have got some access to tours. Tours are going to be something I'm going to be doing in the near future. Exactly when, I don't know, but it all comes down to money, unfortunately. I don't get them for free, I have to pay for them, so I'm always looking out for tour shops or guides that charge a realistic price for the tours. So we've got some Thai food on special here, and then the menus, we've got steaks and pastas, and I'm guessing they do the same sort of thing as what we've just seen. Yeah, seafood, duck, pork. Yeah, great choice. You can see there the menu. Prices are going to vary, some of them 100 baht, so quite reasonable. Actually some 200 baht there, so nothing extortionate. I'm not going to go through. Sorry, Cap. I'm not going to go through the whole menu in detail. I'll let you come and sort that out when you're coming over here. If you're coming to this area and you want to explore it a bit more. And I'm going to dive back across this road now, because I know there's not a lot on this side now after this restaurant. So I'm going to walk closer to the park area, as I say here. Let's just show you why we're passing, actually. I might move up onto the platform, go over this bridge, because it's quite nice. I'm not going to say it's the best place here in Karon, but it's quite nice, and it backs, the beach is just over the other side, so nice area in the morning, maybe take a stroll. I keep saying I'm going to bring Shadow here in the morning time and take her somewhere different for a walk, just to vary the places that we take her. But it is quite nice here. And I say, sometimes they have various different events over the other side. They have pop-up markets, they have seafood festivals. We've seen that over the last few months. I'm sure they're going to do a lot more. So there's always something going on. There's car shows and motorbike shows throughout the year. They're not on all the time, of course. They vary depending on the time of the year. At the moment, there isn't a lot going on. But of course, next month sees Songkran, which is the Thai New Year, if you don't know what Songkran is. And they celebrate it with some, well, in the past we've seen some crazy scenes with water fights. When I say water fights, it's like water guns, and they have a lot of fun over here. But unfortunately, the last 2 years there's been a lot of restrictions imposed on Songkran, which has made it, shall we say, lose its fun. But they are now saying that this year's Songkran is going to have the restrictions removed. We are waiting for official announcements on that, and I believe they're having the meeting today. So we should hopefully know in the next few days whether this is actually going to take place, Songkran without the regulations or with minimal regulations, restrictions, not regulations, it's restrictions, the word I'm looking for, which would be great. I mean, obviously with the restrictions, there was no water play last year and all different things. It just takes all the fun away from it, and it is a bit of fun. Some people love it, some people hate it. You know, it's one of those things that you've got to sort of join in the spirit of. Sometimes I think to myself, when Songkran's on, it can be a bit of a pain, because if you want to go anywhere, you're going to get wet, and the chances are it's going to be freezing cold water, because they put ice in the water in the big buckets, and they fill the guns up with ice water and spray you. So you've got to take it with a bit of pinch of salt. But honestly, I haven't taken part in Songkran for nearly 3 years. I have done a video on it before with me on the motorbike, and I will be covering Songkran if it takes place this year, without a doubt. I've already sorted a camera out that's waterproof, because of course there's a lot of water. I can't use this camera and my other cameras because they'd just be no good after about 5 minutes. But I have got a camera that I will be able to use, and I will be out covering it, not necessarily on the bike, because you miss stuff on the bike. So I want to do it walking, which is probably even worse for me because I'm going to get even more wet. But that's definitely on the cards, providing we get announcements that the restrictions are being eased. because obviously it won't take place if they still have all the restrictions. But we've got to wait and see on that. But hopefully in the next few days I can bring you up to speed on what's happening with Songkran, because I would imagine by middle of next week we will know exactly what's going on. Of course, there's a lot of talk about these, which, you know, at the beginning I wasn't too worried about, but after 2 years of wearing face masks, it's becoming a little bit tedious, and I'm sort of hoping that they are removed soon. Now, there was talk on the media and in official channels that they were going to remove these, but I noticed a post today from an official site saying they've decided not to remove them at the moment, which is a little bit unfortunate. I don't particularly dislike wearing them, but I wouldn't say I like wearing them, and I've mentioned this before, because it takes that initial, when you meet somebody and you can't smile at them and they can't smile back at you, it takes that away from the experience. When you're meeting new people for the first time, it's just not the same with wearing a face mask, and I'm hoping that they are going to be removed very, very soon. As regards the actual face masks themselves, there's a lot of people now not wearing them. Again, it comes down to personal choice. What I would say though is, if you're coming out here and you've got it in your mind not to wear them, then just be prepared. If you're traveling around, if you don't carry one and you get stopped for any reason, you could be fined for it, because as I mentioned on, was it my last video or a couple of videos back, a customer of our business was telling my wife Nat that her son had been stopped at a police check. He hadn't got a mask with him at the time and he was fined 2,000 baht. So they can enforce it. So if what I've said is carry one. If you don't want to wear one, then at least carry one, and then if you can see a police check in the distance, you can always pull over and stick it on, and it's going to avoid unnecessary fines. But it's totally down to you. It's your choice. I've said it all along, it's about common sense. Things are a little bit more relaxed now. A lot more people, especially in the tourist areas, not wearing masks. On the beach, you very, very rarely see anybody wearing a mask, and I think that's okay, because it's an open space. You're not within crowds of people and there's no reason to have the mask on. But unfortunately, the letter of the law says that in all public spaces you're supposed to wear them. Now, of course, as I've said, it's down to a bit of common sense. I wouldn't say you need to wear them all the time, but if you're coming up to a police check, if you want to go through the check without a mask, then so be it. That's up to you. But the police will fine you for it. You know, they are within the rights to do it, and it's no good moaning about it if you know that it's law. It's just one of those things that it's enforceable. I wouldn't say it's law, but it's enforceable at the moment in public places. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, that we see that removed very soon. There is a lot of talk now about the restrictions being dropped, completely removed. People are asking me on my group, of course, if you know my page, my group, check out the description down below. If you're not a member, please do join it. Getting quite a few members now in the group, and there's a lot of talk in there about when the restrictions are going to be removed. It's hard for me to say because I can only go on what's being reported in the media, but I would say we're not going to see, people have been asking me, will we see it before April for Songkran? I wish we could, but realistically, no. I think what we're going to be looking at is the middle of the year. By sort of June, July, we could be on for the removal of the initial test coming into the country, the removal of quarantine, because I read this morning that Vietnam, well, it was posted yesterday, but I actually didn't see it till this morning. Vietnam have now dropped their quarantine rules, so going into Vietnam you don't need to quarantine. I don't know whether you need tests to go in there, because I don't know much about Vietnam, but I saw that they've dropped quarantine procedures and they're now doing tourist visas, which is great for Vietnam. And I think that Thailand need to look at the surrounding areas around Thailand, because of course Vietnam, Malaysia, places like that are all competition when it comes to tourism for Thailand, and they need to stay in line with what's going on around Thailand. Of course, it's not up to me. I'm not in a position to say yay or nay, but I do think that if Vietnam are starting to relax certain restrictions, then Thailand should be following suit and maybe, you know, making it easier for tourism, because we need tourism over here. Everybody knows that, and there are tourists coming. We've seen it. I'm just outside the Nova Hotel here, the Novotel behind me. As I say, this is recently reopened up, which is nice to see. So there's the Novotel. I don't have access to it, of course. I'm not staying there, but I want to try and get into the Novotel. I have done the one in Camelot. I'd like to go back actually and do some more Novotel hotels, because they are very nice hotels. They normally have reasonably good restaurants, but that's reopened. So if you're looking, I can see there's a nice pool. Let's go and have a gander over there and have a look through the wall, even though I'm not allowed in the hotel grounds because I'm not staying there. There's no harm in going and having a look. I believe that's the swimming pool area that's directly in front of us, but I've not been in this hotel before, so I might be wrong. Looks like there's a guest there just walking across. Maybe she'll take me in, maybe she won't. No, I want to try and get over here and try and cover it. Of course, we have the Karon Centara villas just up the hill there. They are actually open. We'll go and have a closer look at the Novotel. As I say, they probably won't let me go any further than reception. Oops, watch it fly, because this road's a bit nasty. A little bit nasty. So when I can get across the road, and then once we've had a look at this, I'm going to make my way back around to where we started slowly. But again, I do like the Novotel hotels. The service is very good in them. I have stayed at one or two in the past. I've got an adventure club. Well, that's nice. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to film the pool area. I have got this camera on an extendable pole. You can just see the start there of the pool, so quite a nice large pool area. Better not hold the camera there too long, they might wonder what I'm doing. As I say, I'm not staying here, so I need permission from the hotel really to do any filming. Some places are okay and they're very relaxed, other places can be a little bit funny with you. But I have got a lot of hotels coming up as regards looking at the hotels and giving you some ideas of where to stay, not just the areas. I've had to put a lot of things on hold, as you know, just because of the situation. Hotels began to open up and then all of a sudden they sort of stopped, because when we had the test and go suspended a few months ago, well, I think it was November, the hotels were in the process of starting to open up, and that sort of scuppered their plans. And a lot of hotels that I'd got filming booked with were saying, well, we're going to be downscaling. And I thought, well, it's no good me. Actually, I'm going to go this way, because you can go this way and then take in another area that I haven't covered before. It's no good you come in and film in a partly open hotel or a hotel with only a few rooms available. So, you know, it makes common sense. So I've put a lot of plans on hold because of that. But now, obviously, the reinstatement of the test and go, as everybody knows, and obviously the day 5 test being removed, only a self-test now, antigen test. So it's getting better all the time, and I think in another few months we're going to be even better still. I can't see the situation going worse now, I'll be honest with you. I think we're over the worst, and things are going to be a lot more positive, and hopefully very, very soon we're going to see things, dare I use the word normal, something that we've not seen for a long time, the word normal. The new normal, that's what they say, but I don't like that word, the new normal. I want things to go back to how they were before, with the ease of coming into Thailand, because at one time coming to Thailand was so easy. That's what I loved about it. Just grab your passport, get on a plane, and job done. You know, no visas, because you could have the exemption visa, which isn't a visa, and a lot of people get confused by it. It's like actually an exemption from a visa, but covers you for 30 days. So that was a real good way of coming into the country, especially if you're just coming for a short holiday. It was a fantastic way. Of course, the borders around Thailand were all open. Very easy to do border bounties, as they're called, or go across the border into somewhere like Cambodia, Laos, all the different borders, and Myanmar, all those places were very, very easy to enter. Then it became very hard. Let's hope that comes back very, very soon. So we're right by the beach, at the very northern end. I don't think I've been up this far before, so let's just go and have a little bit of a view of the beach, because it's quite nice up here. Of course, you're right by the Centara villas. That's on the cliff there in front of us. That is open. It's just the Centara in town that hasn't yet reopened, but I have been told by Craig in town, who's got a business, they should be opening next month. I believe he said the 1st or the 3rd, I can't remember now, but very early on in April he seems to think they will be reopening, so that'll be great. It'll be great for the businesses that are located near to the Centara, because of course they have really suffered, because the Centara hotel does normally have quite a few guests, and of course those guests come out the hotel and they frequent the businesses that are in the local area, but with it closed there's no guests, so a lot less customers for the businesses locally there. So let's hope that reopens, as Craig said, in April, because that's going to give Karon a big boost and it needs it. Qatar is doing okay, as I've said. I've come through Qatar the last few days, weeks, and each time I come through I'm noticing more and more places is open and reopening, so it's looking better all the time, and I think over the next two months we're definitely going to see some big improvements. Few people on the beach, by no means packed, but we didn't have the weather this morning, I'll be honest with you. It was very, very cloudy for a long while, heavy rain this morning. About 6 o'clock in the morning woke me up with the noise from the rain, so very, very heavy this morning, but it has cleared away. I'm out later on, I'm going to be looking around Phuket town. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do in Phuket town. Actually, I haven't been this part of the beach. I mean, this is really nice. There's a small restaurant there, you can come, and just shows you I've been through Karon countless times, absolute countless times, and there's still places I'm discovering. I didn't even know this small restaurant was there, so it's ideal, right on the edge of the beach. You can get yourself some lunch. Got beers on the go there, I'm making me thirsty. And then there's what looks like another restaurant here, so there you go. You can see a few jet skis about, so if you're coming over to Karon, you want to hire a jet ski, again, don't get me started on the conversation there. As I've said, use your common sense. I've mentioned it many times on many videos. If you're coming out, you want to enjoy yourself, then there's no reason why you can't. Just have a little bit of common sense when you're doing stuff. Cover your own back, and then you're not going to have a bad experience. As I've said, I'm coming to Thailand for a very long time before I lived here, and really I've had 1 or 2 bad experiences in all that time, and not to do with jet skis or car hire or anything like that, because I'm just very cautious and careful and I have a bit of common sense. But some nice places here overlooking the beach. Well, you can see there the restaurant, and there's the beach. So wow, very convenient. You've got nice view there from the restaurant overlooking Karon's beach, and Karon does have a lovely beach. It's very long, and then we're coming back into the area where we started, just down the bottom, as you can see there. Even a hotel here. I don't know what the name of this hotel is, but you can see there's a pool. The beach. Hang on, let's have a look. I would imagine it's called On the Beach. Okay, On the Beach in Karon. Well, that looks reasonably nice. I don't know what the prices are like. Not stayed here myself, in fact I've only just seen it. There you go. Sometimes you miss things, don't always look around, but this is the whole idea now. I'm going to be focusing on Phuket a lot more, as in detail, so I'm going to be covering individual areas a lot closer than just browsing through. I'm going to be really exploring the place. I may go down to sois that I've never visited before to take a look at what's down there, areas that I've not seen before. I really want to cover it in detail, so if you're following my channel, then you're going to learn a lot more about these individual areas. This was my plan all along, but unfortunately the last 2 years have sort of scuppered that, and I've not been able to do it because of obviously the ongoing situation, and it's just stopped me with places being closed and nobody. There's the Centara, you can just see it in the distance. We really want that to open up now here in Karon, because that's going to make a big difference. And I know there's a lot of people waiting to stay there, because I've seen it in my group. A lot of people hoping that will open up, and a lot of people saying they've had some very good holidays in that hotel. Again, it's not somewhere I've stayed, but maybe I will look at covering it in the future at some point. I do have access to the Centara hotels because I've done some videos for the Central group, who actually own the Centara group as well. So it's all combined, and I've had an email from their promotion side telling me that they're very pleased with the stuff that I've done for them, and if I want any access anywhere in Thailand to any of the shopping malls and any of their hotels, I can. I just have to email them. But up until now it's not been worth it, because obviously there's not the demand for it, or there hasn't been. But now, of course, slowly we are now seeing tourism returning, which allows me now to go full steam ahead, bring you the content that you want to see, both daytime, nighttime, anytime. As I've said, there's a few things that have held me back in the past, but I'm sort of thinking about things slightly a little bit different. So you're going to see the nighttime content, you're going to see all the bars, and we're going to be going through all the things that guys want to know about the bars. I've had experience of that, because as some of you will know, my first 5 years in Thailand was spent in Pattaya. Everybody knows Pattaya, so I'm not shy or new to the bar scene. I can tell you the pluses, I can tell you the minuses, the pitfalls. I will be going through that at the appropriate time in a lot more detail. Of course, not all the ladies want to know about that, so I'm going to be covering stuff for the ladies, such as spas and massage. Lots and lots of things coming up in the next sort of 6 months. I'm going to be really pushing it. I'm looking at making a lot more videos. You've probably noticed in the last few weeks that I'm out virtually every day now filming and coming up with new content. I want to cover a lot of different topics, a lot of different places, but for today we've had a look around this northern part of Karon. More restaurants there, look. Definitely plenty of places to eat in the northern part of the beach here at Karon, and I hope you've enjoyed this today, this tour around this area. Shall be out later, as I say, doing some more filming. Tomorrow I've got some filming planned as well, so very busy time for me. Now please do check out the description, because all my social media links are down there. Of course, it's difficult when you've got a YouTube channel to run everything all of the time, but I will do my best to keep everything up to speed as much as I can, and I appreciate everybody that's subscribed to the channel. I want to say a big thank you and a big push for the channel now. I want to really start and grow the channel over the next 6 months and see what we can do with it and see where we can go. Well, I think that's covered everything I need to cover. The bike's just in front of me. I'm back at the beautiful Karon Beach. A little jet ski out there, and I guess that just leaves me to say, well, as always, thanks for watching the video, and until next time, you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.